there's a couple things holding you guys back, which is simple to fix and simple to understand. But they're things that are hard to do, really. Quite hard. One of them is wanting everything to be perfect. So that's impossible. I think nobody started off and everything was perfect. I think most people, even when you start at a young age, are sloppy at first. But the thing is, you've got to jump out the plane and learn how to skydive. That's one metaphor that could be very helpful for a lot of you. And another thing which is definitely holding you back, I know I've suffered with, the fear of looking like a fool. The thing is, the people that you're worried about not looking like a fool in front of are not going to put food on your plate, isn't it? I mean, they might one day, but they're not going to feed you and your family. And it's down to you to get over that hump and get over yourself. You've got to be willing to step on your own dick. You've got to be willing to fuck up your opportunities of getting laid. And a lot of guys are not willing to make themselves look stupid for fear of losing that opportunity with the opposite sex. But by having that holding you back from really being what you're destined to be, really, you're losing out on the big opportunities and on the things that will actually set you free and get you paid. You're letting your dick get in the way. So you've got to be willing to step on your own dick. Yeah. Understandable, no? And it's like that. It's literally like that. I mean, if you boil it down, what are you really scared of when you don't want to look like a fool? You don't want to lose opportunities to make money or to get work, okay? Maybe friends. And then it's the opposite sex, putting it in politically correct terms. Okay, so let's boil that down. Friends, if you're worried about looking like a fool in front of the friends, and they're not supportive of you, whichever endeavor you're deciding to go on, are they really your friends, or are they just acquaintances, people that you hang around with because you live in close proximity, or you hang around in places that are commonalities? That's one. And yeah, just because you get along with someone and have a joke and laugh about stuff with them doesn't mean that they're your friend. Doesn't mean that they're really there to support you always. A lot of people that you mess around with and joke around with and hang around with and even spend lots of time with couldn't give a fuck if you were going through some real shit, if you were having some real problems. So that's one. And you're worried about looking like a fool in front of them. Or what? Are you worried about them taking the piss out of you, laughing at you? Like I said, that's not a friend. Even if they do laugh at you and make jokes about it, whatever you're doing, if they're supportive of you, yeah, they might take the piss and have a little laugh about stuff. It's not like you've got to be ultra sensitive about that. But still, if they're really your friend, they're going to be supportive of you, no matter what you're doing, really, as long as it's not harming yourself or harming anyone. So that's that. Then what was the other one? Fear of losing opportunities for work and stuff like that. So what's the opportunity that you're missing out on? Realistically, you can argue that the real opportunity cost is not doing that thing that's making you look like a fool. But that's it, you've got to be willing to look like a fool. You've got to go through that phase. It's like Cringe Mountain. It's when you're stood at the foot of Cringe Mountain, and you're climbing Cringe Mountain, everybody's laughing at you and criticizing you and saying how cringy everything is. And then when you climb over Cringe Mountain and you get to the other side, then they're all like that. Oh, I always believed in you. I always knew that you could do it. I always knew you was meant for greatness and stuff like that, or whatever. I always believed in you. Them same people that were saying that you were cringy at the beginning. So that's a huge one, that. You got to be willing to look like a fool, you be cringy, and it's part of the risk that you got to take to reach where you want to reach. That's it. It's not going to be pretty. And then the other one is the opposite sex. You've really got to be willing to sacrifice that. You can't be skating around tasks, beating around the bush of what you're meant to accomplish just to please the opposite sex. That's definitely not recommendable. Plus, you've got to be yourself. I know that's super generic advice for people that are to attract the opposite sex. Is, oh yeah, just be yourself. Yes, super ultra generic, but it's also extremely true. The thing is, when you're an incel that never leaves your room, and then someone comes along and says, be yourself, it's not going to help very much, because first of all, you're not used to being your true self in front of strangers, and secondly, you don't even really know who you are because you don't practice it enough deep down, and you might even think certain things that are you are not you because you never do them. You don't do them so often, you don't get out enough, so you don't realize that your personality kind of scares you and makes you feel uncomfortable. It's a full cycle advice that if you're being told to be yourself when you're a dork, that's not going to be helpful. But when you get past a certain level and having got a certain time socializing, you kind of relax into your own self, especially if you're doing all the things that I'm saying, which is, stay sober and all this. You develop a strong personality, a strong frame, strong everything, and then yes, be yourself. And then the good thing about being yourself is you are going to draw people in that are resonating with you, and those that don't resonate with you, because you're completely yourself, you'll be able to filter them out without wasting time or energy on both ends. So that's a huge benefit of being yourself. But of course, you've got to have a certain understanding of who you are before you can just go and say, be yourself. But yeah, coming back to the whole thing of looking like a fool. To know yourself properly, you've got to be willing to put yourself out there and be a fool. A lot of the time, I think everybody has gone through that one that's ever reached any certain point of worthy of getting to. So yeah, those are two huge ones personally. The one that you want everything to be perfect from the get-go, that's never going to happen. And the other one, the fear of looking like a fool, the fear of embarrassment. You've got to get over both of them obstacles, and you've just got to start and get the ball rolling. It's like a snowball effect as well. Just got to keep the ball rolling, and slowly the snowball's going to get bigger and bigger.